As an advocate of interfaith dialogue, particularly between Christians and Muslims, I'm often faced with the issue of conversion. People ask me, if you admire Prophet Muhammad so much, why don't you convert to Islam? Why don't you accept him as the seal? I see these questions popping up on my Twitter and Facebook feeds more than you might imagine. Basically, me admiring Prophet Muhammad isn't enough for Muslims. In their eyes, I must take a few concrete steps towards Islam to be fully recognized as a true believer. Otherwise, I'm just a weirdo Christian who respects Muhammad but doesn't recognize him as the man. Christians, on the other hand, have called me pseudo-Catholic or infidel for my positive writings about Muhammad. For these Islamophobes, I'm quite simply a heretic, and there's no way around that. Perhaps, though, my work is irritating to Muslims and Christians because I'm pushing a few traditional boundaries and making people question the very heart of their religious traditions and religious identities. Here's the main issue according to popular narratives. Muslims must recognize Jesus as a prophet of God, as laid out explicitly in the Qur'an. Muslims aren't at risk of anything when they say, I believe in Jesus, or I love Jesus. However, if we switched the situation and said, I'm a Christian, I believe in Muhammad as a prophet, people might start to question my credibility as a self-professed Christian. People might say, Jesus is the only way, or you've turned your back on God, or you are no longer a Christian. I'm making this video to explain why I disagree with the idea that Christians cannot recognize Muhammad as a prophet. Really, what is in question here is the definition of prophet. Prophet can be defined as a person regarded as an inspired teacher or proclaimer of the will of God. Outside of the dictionary, I've always understood prophet to mean a messenger of a higher power, who works on earth to bring justice and peace to humanity. Now let me say this right off the bat. I fully recognize Muhammad's greatness. He was an exceptional person. Indeed, he might even be the greatest and most influential human being ever to walk the face of the earth. Prophet Muhammad brought love, peace, and much more to a part of the world that had little experience with these things. One of the most overlooked aspects of Muhammad's character is his anti-racism position. He made the unprecedented move of considering both white people and black people as equals in the eyes of God. Yet many Christians still refuse to recognize Muhammad as an inspired teacher or proclaimer of the will of God, or a prophet. The issue, for some Christians, is that Muhammad claims to have the last and universal truth. This rubs some Christians the wrong way, because, in their opinion, only Jesus can make that claim. In conversations I've had with Muslims, a frequent topic of discussion is Muhammad being the seal of the prophets. They add that both Moses and Jesus predicted his arrival. Christians, however, find it difficult to find Muhammad in their Bible. While some Muslims cite biblical verses as proof that Jesus predicted the coming of Muhammad, many Christians find it difficult to interpret this verse as the truth. Perhaps they're just in denial, though that doesn't even matter. Christians just won't buy it. Nevertheless, Christians argue that it is anti-Christian to say that Muhammad is a prophet. Because Jesus is the clear-cut revelation of God as noted in the Bible, Christians argue that they must not accept any other figure besides him. However, as a Christian myself, I see nothing anti-Christian in recognizing Muhammad as a prophet. As I mentioned earlier, I like to view the word prophet as having a very broad meaning. In fact, I don't even like to place it in the realm of religion. especially not solely in the Abrahamic tradition. To me, a prophet is someone who has valuable insight and intuition, who is sensitive about the well-being of others, regardless of their ethnic or religious backgrounds. I realize that some Muslims may not be happy with me putting Muhammad on par with other prophets. But to be honest, I don't see Muhammad as the final prophet. That's too limiting for me. But it's also why I'm able to consider him to be a prophet on equal footing with Jesus and others. And to be clear, neither Jesus or Muhammad is the final prophet in my mind. I can't imagine a higher power that stops bringing prophets to earth. This world of ours is broken, and so prophets will continue to emerge as the days move forward. And it's difficult for me to believe in, quote, seals either. Nothing is sealed, in my opinion. My views on life in general are too infinite for that kind of truth. With that being said, both Muslims and Christians will say that I'm confused or insane. They might question, how can you be a Christian if you say Muhammad is a prophet? Why, then, are you not a Muslim? What are the boundaries of your religious identity? Are you both Christian and Muslim? What is going on with you? I understand. It's confusing, but life is messy, and religion perhaps even more so. With that said, a clarification is in order. Do I believe in everything that Prophet Muhammad said according to the Qur'an and Hadiths? No, I don't. But I also don't believe in everything that Jesus or Moses said according to the Gospel or Talmud. Things, in my opinion, kind of cancel themselves out. They even themselves out. I accept aspects of both, but neither in their entirety. When I read the Qur'an, I don't interpret it as a book for Muslims, but rather for all human beings. It is the Qur'an that requests people to discern what God has sent down to them. The word discern is a crucial one. Literally, discern means to perceive something. My mind tells me that Jesus and Muhammad have equally valuable messages. Both men shared some truths. But let's be real, they were human beings too. They were prone to error. They made some mistakes. They missed some things. Let me wrap this up by returning to the question: is Prophet Muhammad worthy of admiration among Christians? I believe he is. His central concern was to lead mankind on the right path. And by right path, I mean justice, mercy, compassion, love, tranquility, and peace. For these reasons, I elevate Muhammad to prophet status.